Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, HURIWA, has renewed its call for the immediate release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. The group also demanded compensation of 100 billion naira for his unconstitutional detention and dehumanization. The group urged the federal government to compensate each of the Southeast states with 100 billion naira to address the region's economic devastation caused by insecurity, mass arrest, and systematic neglect. HURIWA's national coordinator Emmanuel Onwubiko, in a statement on Tuesday, criticized the federal government for its continued disregard for local court rulings and international human rights directives, including those of the United Nations Human Rights Council. The group said Mazi Kanu's 30 months of detention without lawful cause represents a grave miscarriage of justice that undermines Nigerians' democracy and respect for the rule of law. According to HURIWA, the prolonged and unconstitutional incarceration of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not just a personal tragedy, but a stain on Nigerians' commitment to justice, human rights, and democratic principles. I just want to get your thoughts concerning, let's just hit more on the 100 billion naira compensation that should be given to the Southeast. Do you agree with HURIWA that the federal government should compensate the Southeast, because the agitation for Kanu's release has actually been going on and on? But is it necessary for the Southeast states to get compensation from the federal government?
All right. Thank you very much. What is the compensation for? That is the questions we have to ask. Though Nnamdi Kanu is supposed to have been tried, because he has been in detention for quite a long time, and I think with this present administration, he's supposed to be tried and, if not find wanting, let go. But the compensation from the Southeast, we begin to wonder why the compensation and what makes it necessary for the federal government to give them such amount as compensation. To me, I believe, I think with my thoughts, that he should be tried by the federal government, and if he's not found wanting by the allegations which made him to be there for over years now, he should be released and let go, so that even the Southeast will be happy. I know that even there was this event that took place sometime, and even the senators and the House of Reps members were really talking about him being released by the federal government. So I know it's really a big one for this Southeast if he's out from the detention that he is. And I would also put my hand with them to solicit with the federal government to try him, and if he's not found wanting, he should be set free so that he can live his normal life like every other Nigerian. But though I know with the cause he's going for, not really a Nigerian, but I just say with every other Nigerian, so I don't know. Thank you.
Well, thank you on that. I still want to ask you, I know you're not an Eastern person, you're not from the Igbo region of the country, you know, but I'm sure you're aware concerning the insecurity, the sit-at-home order, the unknown gunman issue that, you know, has actually been on, you know, and certain people use the agitation from the Indigenous People of Biafra as a means, you know, to destroy properties and peoples. You know, at some point, there's so many individuals were killed, even vigilantes were shot, gone battled here and there with the police and whatnot. You know, it's just been a back and forth situation, and some of them have actually come up to say that we're agitating for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, and Nnamdi Kanu has said, I am not with you if this is how you want to agitate for my release, and all of that. And then HURIWA is asking for the compensation of the dehumanization and the detention of Nnamdi Kanu, and the issue that has been going on in the Southeast. Though you asked the question of why should they be given this compensation of 100 billion naira, but if you have to check it, this issue of insecurity were actually caused by the indigenes, or maybe certain people that were actually in the states at the time. But if you involve the federal government there, maybe the issue of the insecurity should have been handled by the federal government, you know, to stop that sit-at-home order, if that could have been handled, because schools were actually still on Mondays. Students don't go to school. Markets do not open. If your store or your business area is open at that time, it gets destroyed. Houses, you know, it's just been a cause of insecurity and all of that. Do you think this HURIWA demands of the compensation to the Southeast is a necessary thing that should have been put in place? Yes, just like you have said, you join the Nigerians for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, but the 100 billion naira compensation, I still want you to elaborate on that, considering the fact that the issue of insecurity were caused by the indigenes of the state.
Thank you. If I may say, the release of Nnamdi Kanu will really go a long way now, because the restiveness being caused by some particular set of persons claiming that is because he's still in detention. That is why they are acting the way they've been acting by harassing and killing some innocent persons, and they sit at home and all that. So as it stands now, I think coming to talk about it, Nnamdi's case is a very vast one, not just because I'm not from the Southeast. The South is a vast case, and it's a very sensitive one, and I think the compensation, if that could solve the issue of that, it should be given to them, because the generality of the country want the best for all of us. If that compensation.
Why did you say the compensation should be given to the Southeast states?
Yeah, if it could curb the whole issue, because it has to do with the sit at home.
Do you think the problem of insecurity in the Southeast states was a federal government originated problem?
No, not really a federal government originated problem. No. The insecurity in the Southeast is a result of, it's just that most times people take advantages of some certain things. Now they are saying is because of the Nnamdi Kanu, but I think there is another political undertone to it. So we should look critically well into that. The federal government should look critically into that and see how they could stop it. Of recent, I had one of the Southeast governors said in his inception in office, the sit at home on Mondays will stop. But up till now, I don't think it has stopped. So they should look critically into it and see how they can.
So looking critical into it, or giving the compensation or not giving the compensation, which one do you stand for?
They will look critical into it before giving the compensation.
Okay, so you're with the fact that the compensation should be given to the Southeast states?
If they have looked and they think that is the best way to go, it should be given to them and let there be calmness in the region.
So it's okay for every state to just, indigenes to just come up and cause menaka or havoc in the states, and then afterwards you just call for compensation from the federal government?
Not really. Not everybody can just come and start doing that. You know, I think that was for a particular reason, and you just can't come out and start causing mayhem and expect the government to give you such money. You know, so for that, they should. That's why I said they should look critically into it. If it means giving them, give it to them, and ensure that that doesn't exist again, doesn't happen again. As a government, you take responsibility and ensure it doesn't exist again after that has been given to them.